We are giving away all of these 16 prizes here to celebrate the World Championship, including a signed photo from Raymond van Barneveld and Phil Taylor, which includes a match used art. Just head over to our Twitter, link in the description, to see our pinned tweet for full details, and don't forget to comment and subscribe.
Luke, many congratulations. Through to the World Championship semi-final for the first time in your career. How good does that feel?
It does feel really good. That's what I really wanted this year, was to make the next stepping stone. I've obviously been 3-time quarter-finalist. I didn't want to be 4-time. I wanted to be known as maybe the 1-time semi-finalist at least. So yeah, there was the minimum target for me. But the draw has been blown wide open. So it's a massive opportunity for someone now to be world champion or 2-time world champion if it's Rob. It's exciting. I'm excited to see how it pans out.
You mentioned that the draw being blown wide open after Michael's exit. Does that add extra pressure tonight?
Not really. I think you could think about it, but the way Scott played, you can't discredit him because he showed a lot of bottle and he played fantastic. I think that the better player won, and it's important that you sit here and just not say too much, because it always seems to bite you in the bum. So you have to, I'm not going to say that it's going to be a hard game or an easy game. I think it's going to be really tough because he showed that he's not fazed by the situation. I don't think anybody will now. So I'm hoping that the next 2 games tomorrow night in the semi-finals are going to be some fantastic games, because I think there's a lot on the line for everyone. I think everybody's really excited to see what happens now.
And you've survived a couple of real scares to get to this point. So how pleasing to really put in a statement performance tonight?
Yeah, I think I needed to do that because if you keep sort of not playing to the best of your ability, the confidence-wise, the later you go on, the later you'll feel confident about getting over the line and winning, being world champion. So if I didn't play very well tonight and scrape through again, the thoughts in your mind thinking, can you be world champion not playing really well? But obviously playing like that, it gives me more confidence, believe that is a possibility now. But I've got a really, really tough run in. It's going to be really, really hard. But like I say all the time, I really look forward to seeing how it goes, and I feel really relaxed, and it felt really good that tonight.
And with Michael's exit and obviously what you've achieved over the last few months, do you feel that you're the man to beat now?
No, not really. No, I think it's an open tournament. I can play fantastic like that tonight. I can also play not so great like I did in the early rounds of the tournament. So yeah, I don't think I'm the man to beat at all. I think there's 4 good dart players that can all win it, and it's a hard one to pick. So yeah, I'm just, like I said, really looking forward to seeing how it pans out. I'm hoping if I can play like I did tonight, then I'll stand a great chance of being world champion. But you got to take one game at a time.
Thank you, well done.
Thank you.
Luke, huge congratulations. You talked about your disappointments of previous quarterfinal defeats. What does that say about your character now, the fact you've gone there and averaged over 103 to book your place in the semi-final?
Yeah, I think all the experiences over the last year have probably helped that. Obviously being 3-time major champion now has probably sort of, made me believe and made me feel a bit more confident. I'd only made 1 major final last sort of 6 years, so that belief maybe wasn't there as much, whereas now, I'd experienced a lot of majors, quarterfinals, semi-finals in the last couple of years. So, I know how it felt to be in a situation, how it felt to win. But it was just really pleasing to go up there and play at my best, and, it felt really good tonight.
And after coming through that thriller against Joe Cullen, that must have taken out a lot of you emotionally as well as energy levels. How pleased were you? You had the day off before playing today.
Yeah, very pleased. It did take a lot out of me, and playing the next day, who knows? It could have been quite tough. After an epic game, but who knows how that would have panned out. I did get the day off, and it definitely helped me, of course, because it allowed me to play really well tonight.
When you're in that practice room, is it distracting when Michael goes out? Does it change your thought process at all just before you go on?
No, because I just didn't think Michael was there tonight. I felt like he was going to lose. When it was like 2-2, Scott looked really good. He didn't relent. He felt really comfortable up there, and it didn't look the same Michael that we used to. And he's been a fantastic player over the last 10 years. He'll be back next year winning loads. We all know that. But I don't think that you can be excited when Michael loses, because Scott played fantastic, and that just means I've got a really, really tough game tomorrow as well.
Luke, many congratulations.
Thank you.
We've talked a lot in this tournament about big names and seeds going out. For yourself, you'll be a big favourite tomorrow, but the fact that you've seen all those seeds go, does that keep you on high alert?
Yeah, exactly. If he's beaten Michael van Gerwen today, so doesn't mean he can't beat me tomorrow, doesn't it? So, Yeah, I think, it doesn't matter who's going out, what seeds are doing well, what seeds ain't doing well. If I'm favourite, I am, but that doesn't mean nothing in my eyes. I think it's a 50-50 game. We're both in unknown territory. Both played well tonight, and we're going to be very much hoping that we both play well tomorrow night. But it's a big spectacle for us both, and I've obviously been used to it more than him. But when you're not used to them scenarios, sometimes you play freely. So yeah, I've got to be very, very wary of a massive Scott performance tomorrow.
Do you see any similarities from when you first arrived at the World Championships and had those big runs to what Scott's producing now?
Not really, because he's made the semis and I didn't. So he's made a bigger step than I ever did. But I feel like Scott's a fearless person. The occasion doesn't, affect him. So for me, I don't think that it's going to be one of them games where I feel like I'm going to be favourite and he's going to roll over and let me play really well. I know I've got a tough game, and I know that I've got to be on it and play like I did tonight. And if I keep playing like I did tonight, then all I ask myself is just be a tough player to beat. So yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Thank you.
Luke, this tournament so far for you has been a little bit of everything. You've had tough scrapes, you've had, lucky moments maybe, and tonight you've had Do you feel like there's a little bit of momentum coming your way, if there's such a thing? And do you actually feel that's actually happening to you, and you're now getting into that peaking at the right time?
Yeah, I think momentum is a thing. Of course, when you put in a good performance, it gives you a lot more confidence. I mean, my first two performances, they just weren't there, and I think a lot of people probably would have said there's no chance he could be world champion, he's not playing well enough. Whereas in the last two games, I seem to have found that form again. And that's what can happen in darts. Obviously I've played so good the last couple of months. I am human. Sometimes you just have them performances that ain't up to scratch, but I got through them. So I allowed myself to still be in the tournament and go on and put in that performance like I did tonight. So sometimes you got to win ugly and allow yourself to be still in the tournament. And like I said, tonight was a good one.
Thank you.
Luke, when we spoke after the World Grand Prix, when you said that your aim was to become the world number one, you beat Scott Williams tomorrow and you are world number one. What would that mean, especially doing it such a short amount of time after that first major win?
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before, but I think being world number one's fantastic, but I could be world number one for 3 weeks. If I'm world champion, I'm that forever. So, I can't look into being world number one. I'm here to be world champion. And if I am world champion, I will be world number one. So like I said, if you're world number one, that could last for a couple of months. Being world champion always lasts forever. So as much as that would be a massive feat for me tomorrow, I won't be thinking about it because, being world champion is higher on my list, and I'd give every accolade I had in my back pocket to be world champion. So that means more than anything.
What was the mindset heading into this match with Dave? Because you're not producing your best stuff in this tournament, and you're facing a guy who you've faced in 5 finals and lost 4 to.
Yeah, it's just important not to panic. I think if you're not playing your best, if you start thinking that it's not going to go your way and stuff, you just find yourself losing. You will be on the end of a losing game. But I just have that resilience to not believe that a couple of bad performances are going to stop me from winning. I think a lot of people probably would have ripped me off after the last couple of games. Probably thought, well, he ain't going to win it because he's not playing well enough. But as a dart player, you can turn it round. You can just change all of a sudden. And that performance I put in tonight is giving me a lot of confidence. And when I walk up on the stage tomorrow, it will make me feel like I can put another performance in line again.
Was there any prep that you did differently heading into this match to try and maybe become more comfortable and produce the Luke Humphries that we've seen for the past 3 months?
I've kept to the same routine, to be honest. Everything's been the same. I practice the same. Some days you go up on that stage, it just don't feel right. Some days you go up on that stage and it just feels amazing. You don't feel like you missed. So, yeah, I just think it was one of them instances where tonight I just felt amazing. Didn't feel like I could miss. And I'm hoping that carries on, to be honest. I'm hoping that tomorrow I feel the same.
Luke, big well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Luke, congrats. Were you shocked by the exit of Michael van Gerwen?
Not really shocked. Of course, he was you probably would have thought he'd have won the game, but you can't be really shocked because we're in an era now where there's so many fantastic dart players, and Scott's a fantastic dart player. And if you don't play at your best, then you'll be out the tournament. So I wasn't incredibly shocked by it. Obviously, I thought Michael was going to win, but we're in an era now where the sport is so high. There's so many great players where if you're not in your game, then you'll find yourself out the tournament.
Yeah, a lot of players still are saying that Michael is the best player of this generation, but at the same time he waits 5 years for his next world title. Yeah, what's your opinion about that?
But he is the best player of our generation, that's for sure. You know, in the last 10 years, he is the best player of our generation. And people forget, maybe he's not won as many as everyone expects, but he still is 3-time world champion. You know, that's some feat. So, you know, over the last 10 years, he's won 3, probably would have wanted more, but I feel like he will get more. You know, I feel like he will still win a lot of world championships in his career. He's got a long, long way to go. I'd just be happy with 1, if I could get 1.
Look, congratulations.
Thank you.
Many people are talking about Luke Litter. Is this maybe an advantage for you and takes a little pressure away from you? Because, yeah, like I said before, maybe you're one of the favourites in the tournament.
Not in particular. I think, you know, he's been playing fantastic, and you know, regardless of his age or anything like that, he's been one of the best players in the tournament. And let's be honest, I think he's averaged 100 over 3 times. So, you know, I look at him not about his age. I don't look at Luke as being a 16. I look at him as a fantastic dart player and one to be. You know, and I feel like if it weren't about his age, he would have still been a massive thing in this tournament, because he's possibly been the most consistent dart player in the tournament so far. So he's going to be a tough player to beat.
Thank you.
Do you think he should be in the Premier League, or is it too soon?
Who?
Luke Litter. 17 is not.
Yeah, I mean, I'll leave that down to, that's not my decision to make. I mean, that's, if he's world champion, I think probably has to be, doesn't he? I think, you know, we've always had the world champion, but, you know, that's not my decision to say yes or no. That's down to him, his management, and the directors of the BSC to decide that. But, you know, it may be too early, but then he might go into it and win it. So, you know, you don't know what the future holds. And I just feel different about him. I think he's a lot more mature than his age says. I feel like he's a very mature lad. And if he is in it, then he's going to be a contender to win it.